with the illustrator, just a quick illustration, but taking a look at the window first. So here's the cake. Here's this little noisemaker. You can see I have a little bit of a sketch going on here, just to show you as a pen tool drawing. Okay, so if I wanted to isolate that, I think I have it on the cake section, but that's okay. But you can see it's kind of outlined for that piece, kind of made it pretty large section. But here, I'm just going to try this one that shows you just by using some of the drawing tools. I'll lock these sections here. Okay, so this layer will have those pieces that I can adjust. So when you take a look, all these different segments are just different pieces that were cut apart, and there's many ways to do it. But just want to try to give you a quick possibility of another particular process. So I just set these guys here, group them together if I need them back there. And I have the tab key. I'll hide this layers and just go ahead and grab the Blob brush tool. And that's going to default out there. I'll just hit D for default and just deselect everything. So now it has black as the color, but I'll just eyedrop it and just grab a random color there, and I'll give it a stroke just so you can see it. Okay, so there we go. So when you take a look, this is the piece. So I'm just trying to draw this section out here. Just like that. So I'm just using the mouse. If I let go, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to scoop that around, kind of looking at it this way instead of a linear drawing, just kind of looking at it drawing with shape, which the computer allows you to do with this little Blob brush tool here. So here's the piece, and you can see if I select all of it and eyedrop it, it's going to be that selection. But I have my Pathfinder open, so I can go ahead and just click on Unite, and it becomes one solid shape that I was able to draw with that section. So when I look at the other pieces, maybe I want to either cut it or create some of those pieces. A couple ways to do it, and I'll try both of them. So the eraser tool, if I leave this window shaded open, has the eraser. You can eliminate things. So if I draw this, it's taking that piece right out. So when you see a possibility of drawing it with it that way. Scissors tools just works right on the clipping of the path. So when you click here and here, switching back, it's going to give you two shapes. Back that up a bit. And with the knife tool, lets you cut a piece, and then it becomes part of it. So I'll try that just down here while it's selected, and kind of take a look at this drawing. It has a little bit of a preset curve. I'm just going to bring it right down to there. So now I have two pieces that come across that direction. And there it is. Now if I have this, I'll just give it a segment that's going to have this stroke. So there's the piece for there, and the stroke I'll just make blue. So now I have this kind of an exterior shape that I can illustrate, and I want to use the Blob brush tool to try to bring that piece up there. So there's the tool, and that's going to give me that section. So I'm just going to select this part of the handle, have the Blob brush tool highlighted, and just kind of take a look. I could see, okay, I want to take that piece for the mouth, just kind of curve it around. So you can see that piece. Let me try that one more time. I can make it, the brackets make it larger or smaller. So when I take a look at the plaid type shape, I'm just going to draw this with the arch as best I can. Then come back the other way. And now I have all these parts and pieces that are going to be selected. So I select everything. It's going to also select this part. So I shift key to deselect this. In the Pathfinder down below in the second column is a divide segment. Okay. If I hit default, it turns everything black to white, so at least I can see through all this. Okay. And if I want to eliminate some of these items, then I can just simply take the shape builder tool, and as I drag across this, it's taking all these extra clippings off the side there. See if I can take that out of there, sort of. Back that up there. So we divided them, so you can see this part, and I can take the lasso selection, just kind of get right up in there just to touch it. Take all those guys out there. And do the same on this side. Make sure that I don't go too far over. Don't take that guy out. So you have, it's kind of using the flexibility of the shape builder and the paths to take that section out. So let's see if I can. So now I have this piece, so I can highlight all of this and use the shape builder to go through it and say which pieces do I want to keep, and just arch them over. Like so. And it gives me that particular shape. And anything on the edges that I don't want, I can take off. Just clean that up. And take that guy out too. So it just kind of cleans those sections there. And then I can just highlight it all and eyedrop it, give it a color, give it a stroke, so I can see some of the edges there if I need to. And take a look if I want to start to put some gradients into it. And this is where I have that flexibility to it. So there it has it as a gradient. And let's see. There's an outside just with a green filter, so then I can go back in, take the direct selection tool, and click on these pieces. And give that part a little bit of a coloring, like so. And coming across, just using the selection tool because it's grouped together. Just go right down the line here. Give that part. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a segment in order to make that pattern. And like I said, the direct selection tool lets you pick it because it's still grouped together, which is fine. Keeping that part connected. And then coming back to this, I kind of lock the end part of it. So just kind of come down here. This is this piece. Bring that up to the front there. Back that up. So there you can see that section. So it gives you a little bit of a texture, a little bit of pattern of capability for that. I can take a look at this one here and do the same idea. Give it a little bit larger brush. Just draw this right over the top. Shift key this part. So these three are selected as I go into the Pathfinder. Just divide them. You can see these pieces I can just click on to eliminate the extensions. And that gives you these three pieces, a little bit of shape builder. Makes that part come across. We'll build that section for that piece. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a connection there for that section. Now you can always use just the pen tool, which is what this one's representing, but this one gives you a little bit more of a free form of drawing it first, with the Blob brush tool and using some of the Pathfinder commands to help you break that piece apart, give you a little bit of that section.